What's up, YouTube? So we have quite a few theories going around about Azor Ahai, which is one of the most interesting, and if this proves to be a theory that is going to go forward towards the end, and that he is actually reborn, then it's going to be a big thing in the final episodes of Game of Thrones, and in the final book. Now, let's talk about who actually is Azor Ahai. Now, the Long Night, which is one of the big things in the preludes of the books, was where a winter lasted for an entire generation, and where the whole fear of winter and the winter is coming thing is actually from. So, way before the Targaryens invaded Westeros, about 8,000 years before, there was a winter that lasted an entire generation, and this is where the White Walkers came from after the first men were being actually experimented on by the Children of the Forest, and then their creation, the White Walkers, pretty much screwed them over and then started killing everyone. So then in what became the War for the Dawn, the First Men and the Children of the Forest banded together to destroy the White Walkers, and that's when the Night's Watch was set up and also the wall was built to stop them from ever coming back. So there is a legend that Azor Ahai was the one to pretty much save everyone with a flaming sword known as Lightbringer, which, well, that seems familiar, doesn't it? Because it's very similar to the one that Melisandre gave to Stannis, and also the one that Beric Dondarrion has that was given to him by Thoros of Myr, which pretty much is lighting it on fire. So what happens in the myth is that he pretty much, with Azor, making a sword that is even better than anything that can be found. So it takes him 50 days and 50 nights, and then, well, it isn't what he needs. And unfortunately, it calls for his wife to be sacrificed, which is very similar again to what's happening right now. And so what happens is he pretty much kills her in one hit, drives his sword into her heart, and then her soul is bound to the sword, creating Lightbringer, which is the sword that really does win the war, in theory. So, as we all know, there is a prophecy that Azor Ahai will be coming back. So Melisandre says that after a long summer, Azor Ahai will be reborn amidst smoke and salt, wielding the flaming sword Lightbringer to defend the world from R'hllor's nemesis, the Other. Well, she thought it was Stannis, but, well, as we know, it's not. There are many other theories as to, well, who people think it really is. So the leading theory is that people think it will actually be Jon Snow who will be Azor Ahai reborn. This is mainly because of Melisandre's kind of interest in him, as well as the fact that every time she looks into the fires for Azor Ahai, all she ever sees is Jon Snow, or things to do with Jon Snow and Snow, which is very weird. And also we have the Tower of Joy theory, where it could be that Jon Snow is a descendant of the Targaryens as well, which would lead him to be able to be fire resistant as well. And of course, he has had a love lost, which is Ygritte, who sadly died. Well, this would be, in my opinion, the best theory for it, I think, so far. Another theory as well, which I don't think as much, would be that Daenerys is the Prince Reborn. So it's never actually, in the original theory, or the original prophecy, it's never actually a prince, it's just someone who is promised that will come back. So that's what's giving credence to the fact that Daenerys could be the prophecy end, I guess would be the right word. But I think this is kind of a bluff, and the fact that it is so obvious that it should be her. that it won't be her, because they played on a big deal about her having dragons, blood of the dragon, and also being able to resist fire as well. But we haven't really seen her use a sword or anything much like that. So I don't think that will be it. I think it'll probably be leading to the two almost getting there, and then Jon Snow will ebb it at the end. So this would be the best thing, I think, with Jon Snow taking it and leading the charge as well. So, if you enjoyed that video, drop a like and a subscribe. I'll be back soon with more Game of Thrones content. Goodbye.